every day the people of Gaza are being killed by the thousands. AI is increasing in everything, and corporations are preparing to replace all of us with technology. We are in a major mass extinction event where animals are being killed by the thousands. We have lost, that's every day, every week. We have lost so many native species. Oh, look, a bee. Oh, he ran away. We've lost so many native bee and butterfly species, just animal species, wild animals, wildlife in general. And this is all happening just in the last few years. This is all, just getting worse in the last few years. Of course, all of these things have been happening for quite some time now because the capitalism creates so many things to control us and destroy our lives, destroy the planet, and it's all for profit. It's all for their own profit and benefit. It's all to keep the capitalists in power and keep the wealthy rich. They do all these things to distract us and try to keep us in place, in line, not noticing the things that they're doing, the laws that they're passing. They were able to pass a TikTok ban within 4 business days. Meanwhile, all of us are still struggling on student loan debt. We are struggling with groceries, inflation, roads, crumbling infrastructures, and meanwhile, they are focused on banning a popular internet app. How focused is this on ensuring that the people that they are supposed to be governing are alive or safe or secure? They're not caring about, they're not worried about any of this. They're worried about their own pockets and what's going to happen when climate change happens, because they're preparing for what will happen once the climate has shifted. They're preparing to create business models around the entirely new structure of the world, because the way that the world is right now is not how this is going to be, and they're already aware of this. They are preparing to phase us out, essentially. So you don't have to just take my word for it. You can look at the cost of housing. You can look at what's happening with housing, the entire crisis that's being created. It's all created. It's manufactured because corporations own the housing. They own everything. They own the government. The rich people don't have to pay for any mistakes that they create or any problems that they have, because even if, as an example, the cognitive dissonance in our society is just so extreme that so many people don't even realize just the, multi-tiered justice system that we have in itself. Because as an example, you could harm an animal, for example, just as just a civilian, just a regular civilian person, and you would go to jail for this. Now, obviously, you should rightfully so go to jail for harming an animal, depending on the, depending on the circumstance and situation, etc. But yeah, typical animal abuse should always be persecuted, right? So, but how crazy is it that an entire industry kills over 80 billion animals every single year, and poisons our ecosystems, our environment, our planet, the waterways, the soil, and nothing happens to them? No, they actually get government subsidies so that they can continue to do all of this and continue to poison our roadways and waterways and all of this soil. And what happens? Nothing. But if you run over a duck, or intentionally run over a family of ducks, while that would be very fucked up, just to be clear, you would go to jail for this. You would be fined. There would be some kind of very large, issue happen. You would probably have maybe an article put out in the local paper about how, local crazy person ran over ducks. What a psychopath. But this entire industry is killing ducks by the thousands every single month, every single day, potentially. And for what? For profit. It's all for profit. And we're all just not even paying attention. We're just trapped in this little box of nonsense and distractions and information, and not even looking at the right things, being trapped in these different videos that were being shown to us through the algorithms, and it's all to manipulate us realistically, because everything that you think is, consistently, changing, and especially when you have all these different thoughts and, view sets and viewpoints, just bombarded at you all the time, then you change your mind because you read these things, these thoughts, continue to circulate in your brain, and they just recycle within your mind until they become part of your reality and part of your belief system. Just like, for example, the purchase of which realistically what the whole TikTok ban is actually about is the fact that information about Palestine is getting out, and it's getting out too much. And of course Israel can't have that because they don't want people knowing about the genocide that they're putting on our entire world, and in Palestine, and so many people. And of course there are other genocides that are happening as well, but the one is, this particular one, Israel is obviously not wanting people to know about, because this is very reminiscent of some other things that happened throughout our history, that we should all know about. Certain holocausts that are happening. Of course, the Holocaust of the animals that is happening right now, every single day. It is a Holocaust because it is a mass killing, a mass genocide of, beings, of animals. But just to bring it back to the TikTok ban for just a moment. All of this is because Israel does not want us to know about all the genocide that they are doing, all the videos that people are sharing about all of this. So they are actually preparing to purchase TikTok, so that they can control the flow of information. There are a lot of videos being posted about this. If you look for them, of course, I am constantly trying to share what videos I find in bookmarks. So I may do some stitches here later on some of these videos, because it's just like this information just seriously needing to get out, especially before the TikTok ban happens, because once it happens, lawmakers are already preparing to know exactly who is on this app and track us. So these are things that you have to be aware of and mindful of, because this is all happening right now, and you could be very seriously have some consequences because of getting on an app, on a social media app. Meanwhile, people are literally dying of homelessness and starvation every day. Meanwhile, Republicans and other members of Congress are passing laws to ensure that women lose body autonomy, all for the sake of a unborn fetus. And all these things are happening around us so that we can be manipulated into what it is the wealthy want us to do. So please, this was a lot. I love you. Stay woke.